Windmills 1 of 2023, serious wind up here, real true education, not fake news. Good morning, it's the 10th of February 2023. You're welcome back to the channel, and I have serious, and it's about wind. So what I'm doing from now on is if it's about wind energy and the current environmental crisis, it will have something to do with windmills on it, so you know it's different from other ones about other subjects and other topics. Now, this will not be a very long video, but it'll be very effective. It's February 2023, and as I said in the earlier video, the Advertising Standards Authority have at long last directed energy companies supplying electricity not to use the term 100% renewable. 100% renewable. And this is a major victory. I made a complaint 2 years ago on this very subject, and they rejected it and gave me a whole big load of nonsense and totally false reasons why there was 100% renewable energy. But sure, if there was, we wouldn't be importing coal, oil and gas on the scale we are. This ridiculous situation was allowed to continue, and I hope to do something about it and look for some type of apology from the Standards Authority. In any event, it's great news, and it's gradually paring away and proving my campaign and that of others has been effective. We have constantly tried to stop this, break down this nonsense and myths about this whole green climate baloney, and we're winning slowly. So that is a major point there. Now, the other thing is, you know about 2419, the top court of the European Union has ruled that in Belgium, that the wind energy guidelines there, which were updated in 2011, are illegal, and that not alone can there be no wind farms built, but all existing wind farms have to be pulled down. That's what they said, if they're built since the regulations were enacted. Now, that has been followed in Holland, where even Holland has agreed not to go on until they get this clarified. But there has been a big development in Denmark, and I'll show it to you now. And don't forget, in Ireland, between my efforts and others, we have effectively stopped applications for windmills since October 2002. Since October 2002. They have a problem because Pat Swords has also a case. There's case 2419, you'll get it on the European Court's website, C2419, and Mr. Pat Swords has a case on behalf of Sweden and Holland to ban the European Investment Bank from putting money into this renewable energy until the law is complied with on the SCA Directive Article 2. So effectively the whole EU, including the EU Commission, was pushing this whole wind energy thing and renewable energy and pylons and all outside of their own directive, but the European Court has ruled firmly. Now, so as I said, again to repeat, in Ireland there's no new wind applications. We're waiting for them to come in. We're all set. I'm busy getting ready. We have access to on the environment requests in, and they're trying to say that in Ireland that the directive says that if the first proprietary act of bringing in the regulations way back in the early part of the noughties was done before the date, which is the 21st of July 2004. If it starts before that but ends less than 24 months, then it's exempt from the requirement to do an SCA. But the Irish regulations don't say that. They just say that if it's likely to end after the date of the directive, then there has to be an SCA. But I would also add that if they do bring in guidelines before the directive takes effect, then they're only effective until the directive takes effect. So if they brought them, they say in one particular access to information that the date of the guidelines is the 29th of June 2004, which would be 2 weeks before the directive takes effect in Ireland. They say they brought them in for that. Well, then if that's the case, they only lasted that 2 weeks. You can't bring them on into the new period. So I'd say we have them on that. But in any event, funny enough, the Irish regulations don't mention this 24 months. And the reason of this is when the European Union makes a directive, it has to apply across all member states. And you could have a situation in some country, we'll just say Portugal, for example, where a railway line is almost complete. And is it practical to do an SCA in that circumstances when it's almost done? There are other examples where something will be so advanced and where it's a one-off program that it might not be possible to go back and do an SCA. That's what it means. But when it was brought to Ireland, the Irish government in its wisdom decided that doesn't apply here. We don't have any such things as that. So therefore that 24 months period from the start of the first Proprietary Act to the end, if it's less than 24 months, it doesn't apply, and it's not in the Irish directive. It's not in the Irish directive. And so that means that we're home and dry on that. They're caught with it, but they'll try and argue another way out of it, and we're busy finding out when the directives were circularised, when the county councils got them. I have a Freedom of Information Act, access to information, interim board planola as to when they were notified. We're constantly getting all the evidence ready long before the court or any appeal is taken against a wind farm. And that there's an old saying in rural Ireland, there'll always come a good day, even on a bad year, there'll always come a good day if you're ready for it. So I am all in favour of getting ready for it. In any event, the big news, folks, and I hope you're still with me, the big news is that new news out today. Here it is, you get it online. There it is. Now it's published on Bloomberg, which you have to pay for. But this is published by another outlet here, Offshore Engineer. So they wouldn't be on my side. I'm going to read it to you. Denmark suspends reviewing offshore wind projects over possible EU law conflict. There you are. They said that I was wrong, right? Now I'm going to read it out fairly loud. I'm not shouting to be angry, folks, just to be heard. Now, the Danish Energy Agency has suspended reviewing existing and new applications to install new wind farms over renewable energy projects in the country over a potential conflict of European law. It said in a statement late on Monday. Okay, you have that. The Danish Energy Agency has suspended the processing of offshore wind projects and other renewable energy projects under the open door scheme, it said. Apart from issuing public tenders, Denmark also allows energy companies to submit unsolicited applications to install renewable energy projects under the so-called open door scheme. Granting permits under this program, however, could violate European Union law. It did not say how many applications are currently processing. It is a serious situation for the green transition. Folks, it's not a transition, it's a green folly. It is a serious situation for the green transition, especially the market players. Yeah, BlackRock investments in America, paying American pensioners their pension out of my electricity bill. Right, a serious situation for the green transition, especially for the market players who are ready to invest in this form of offshore wind. Minister for Climate, Energy and Utilities, Lars Agard, said in a statement. Agard said he had reached out to the European Commission to resolve the matter. Now, will the Commission be able to overcome the European Court of Justice? I doubt it. I can assure you that I will be pursuing prompt responses on behalf of these applicants, who are currently left uncertain about the future of their projects, he said. There's no need to be uncertain. You do the full environmental report with public participation and the right to appeal, in which everything, including the hell that's been suffered here on my farm where I was born and reared, with the noise and the shadow flicker from the damned windmills at Rah. Okay. Denmark aims for a 5-fold increase in offshore wind power capacity by 2030. Yeah. For what? Do those who believe this works realise that you can't use them on their own? The current permitting suspension would not affect that target, the minister said. Well, why would it not affect the target? Surely if he suspended the whole programme for now, it affects the target. There are only 6 3/4 years left. So if it takes a year to sort this out, it could take 2 years to do the assessments, and at the end of it, it might be found they shouldn't be building them at all. That's the reality. There's the report, folks. There, you get it. It's also on Bloomberg, but you have to pay for it on Bloomberg. There it is. You get it online. I'm not telling lies. I don't tell lies. There's no need to buy a paper or anything else. That's it. And can I just say, I've been studying up and reading a bit there, now that the Christmas is over and we're back to a bit of normality, about our archaeological past, which is the jewel in the crown of which is Newgrange, Doubt and Nout. And I was just reading, there was a Stonehenge on the between Dundalk and Newry at one stage, and in the 1700s they built the road, the Dundalk to Newry road, right through it. They threw it out of the way. Now, they didn't know what they were doing at the time. And we have still a lot of archaeology. And we see that in British times, in Doubt, they excavated that mound and destroyed it. And it was damaged, not destroyed, but damaged. And we see the effect and how lucky we were that they didn't get going on Newgrange. Cunningham, the landlord, tried to take it down, but his workers wouldn't do it when they saw the writing on the walls. And so how lucky we are to have that. Look at the gem, look at the image of that and the psychological effect that has on the Irish people and people who come to see what was achieved 5,300 years ago. And we are destroying our grouse moor, a species of grouse there since the Ice Age, destroying it with total tuggery. And this is not progress. Progress is when you get something good out of it without destroying your environment. This is not progress. This is vandalism. And I have dedicated part of my life to preventing it. And we're winning slowly but surely. What can the European Commission tell the Danish government? Only go and carry out a full, proper environmental assessment. You don't wait till you go to build to do your preparations for your scheme, your planning, or anything else. The whole lot is illegal. The whole housing thing is illegal. And all they had to do for housing was just do the SCA, do it the best they could. You'd find there'd be very few objectors. It might save a dolman. It might save something. There might be some little bit of inconvenience. But at the end of the day, we could hand on our country to future generations intact. Imagine the excitement there's going to be when I have grandchildren, some of them at Gaelic schools, and when they come up to see Bruna Boyne, and the excitement that will be to see something like that. Isn't it lovely to have that? Isn't it lovely to have our heritage? That's what I fight for. Folks, give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. We'll see you back for something else quite soon, and thank you very much.